Okay, so I just got done watching the first episode of season 8, the sadly final season of Game of Thrones, and I'd have to call this episode the reunion episode because everyone was just kind of meeting up with each other, you know. And so, first of all, let's take a look at this cup that I got here from Amazon. It's a pretty sick cup. You can see that we got the stallion there, the wolf there, and then the lion, and then the octopus, and then the kraken? I don't know what that is. But yeah, it's a pretty cool cup. Anyway, so this episode, like I said, is the reunion episode. We've got all of these remaining Stark children finally meeting up together at Winterfell. But first, that intro to the show. It's pretty badass. It's pretty badass, and it's kind of sad to know that it took them this. I guess they changed it every season. They added a couple more cities with every season. Yeah, I guess so. This one feels more like a tour of the places. It's not all, you know, overhead shots and buildings being built. They're actually going through the buildings, which felt like an amusement park ride. Yeah, it felt like an amusement park ride. That first. Going through those intros. And then, you know, Dany and Jon arrive at Winterfell with all the pomp and glory of a king and queen, basically. They got all these rows of soldiers walking around them. And, you know, Dany meets, and the dragons, oh man, the dragons look amazing, so amazing. So everyone in Winterfell sees the dragons flying up above them. And of course, you know, they've never seen dragons before. So it's like, ah! The look on Sansa's face when she sees them fly above her, and Arya's face is kind of like, she seems a little bit stunned at first, but then she's like, oh, cool, you know. So yeah, everyone meets the dragons. They meet Dany. Jon finally meets Bran, robot Bran. Yeah. He's a little bit out of it still. I like Jon's reaction to it. It's like, you're a man now. And Bran's like, almost. And then goes silent. And then Jon's like, oh, okay. I guess that's in that conversation. But Jon meeting Arya again, that was a really good moment. Where, you know, she's like, oh, Needle's still here. And he's like, did you use it? And she's like, yeah, once or twice. Of course, she's an assassin now, so she's like, well, maybe tell him that part later, you know. Don't tell him she's a faceless murderous, you know, hit woman right now. So they meet Dany. Sansa does not like Dany. It's obvious in her face. But the rest of the North seems to not like the fact that Jon gave up his title of King of the North in order to bring Daenerys on board with them. Which, I mean, I guess that's all right, but Bran made the point early on where it's like, we don't have time for this, you know, fighting over titles and who's gonna be called what, who's gonna be called Lord of this and King of that. You know, the Night King has one of your dragons and they've broken through the wall and they're headed this way. So maybe save the names and all that stuff for later on. It's of course Bran able to see. He's the cheat code now, you know. Bran is the up, down, down, left, right cheat code. He is that cheat code, you know. If you got Bran on your team, yeah, you're in good shape. No doubt about it, you are in good shape. Bran can see things and he knows things that you only know as an omniscient, practically a god, I guess, at this point. So he tells everyone to hurry up and just get their act together. And then who else reunites here? Sansa and Tyrion reunite. You know, they talk about when Joffrey was killed, you know, Sansa just disappearing after the king was murdered, which was kind of suspect. Who else? And then Gendry reunited with Arya and the Hound in the same place, which was very reminiscent of the earlier seasons. Man, so many, that's why I said this is a reunion show, you know? It's a reunion show, basically. It's a really good, really well done reunion show, but it's a reunion show. Who else reunited here on this thing? Who else was there? Oh yeah, the big one. Yeah, Sam Tarly, and then Jon Stark reunited in the crypts there. And, you know, Bran, of course, cheat code Bran, told Tarly, hey, oh, Tarly meets Daenerys, Sam meets Daenerys, and, you know, he finds out through her that she killed Randall and his brother, his father and his brother on the battlefield, you know, back in season 7. So he was a little bit hurt by that, which I guess, even though he didn't like his dad and most of his family, you know, knowing that Daenerys is the one who kind of took them out, killed them, I guess, you know, that would make him feel it bummed him out a little bit, you know. But then Bran was sitting outside just chilling. Bran was just chilling outside. Bran was just chilling outside this whole thing, looking at people. You know, he's sitting outside looking at Tyrion for a little bit. He was staring at Jon for a little bit. He was staring at Sam Tarly for a little bit. And when he was staring at Sam, Sam went outside and was like, hey, what are you doing out here? You know, and Bran's cool, just short to the point answer. I'm waiting for an old friend. And I was thinking to myself, who in the hell could that be? But then he's like, yeah, you gotta go, it's time for you to go tell Jon that he's actually Aegon Targaryen. And he's like, well, you know, you're his brother. And Bran, of course, I'm not his brother. Like, oh my God, kid. Which technically he isn't, because Jon Snow, Jon Sand, is Aegon Targaryen, and Bran is Bran Stark, the cheat code master. So he actually is technically correct. They're not brothers. So Sam goes down there to tell Jon, and Jon tells Jon, hey, you know, me and Bran worked it out. You're actually the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, and even though you gave up your crown to save your people, would Daenerys do the same thing to save hers? Which is a very good question. Is Daenerys going to do that? Is she going to say, yeah, if you're the rightful heir, I'll step aside and give you the crown, give you the kingdom? Or is she going to be like, well, you know, I'm kind of your aunt, and I think she might be a little bit older than he is. I'm not sure. But she might be like, well, I've been a queen longer than you've been a king, so you can wait your turn. I don't know how that's going to play out. We'll see how that plays out for the rest of the season. Only 6 episodes. Oh, only 6 episodes. Oh, man. Oh, caramba. But we got the wildlings and the Night's Watch, what's left of them anyway, going through the remnants of the wall in one of the castles. And they see the young Umber kid just staked to the wall like a poster board, you know, just placard on there. And they said it's a message from the Night King. And I guess they were saying the wildling with the red beard, the real funny one that likes Brienne, I forgot his name, but he was saying that, yeah, it's a message from the Night King saying that he's between the north, he's between the wall, and he's between them and Winterfell. So they're at the north, they're at the wall. So the Night King's in the middle, and then Winterfell is further south. So they were saying, well, if we get some horses, some good horses, then we can beat them to Winterfell before they arrive, which I guess is what they're probably going to end up doing by episode 3, maybe the next episode. Who knows? I don't know how fast they're going to make the story move along, because the season is so short, and the episodes are not all an hour and a half long like it was rumored, which would have been nice if they were, but oh well, you get what you get. And so that's how the episode ended, and it showed that same thing with the spirals the Children of the Forest used to do all the time. So I wonder how that's going to play into at the end of it. Maybe the Children of the Forest will come out at the end as a Deus Ex Machina, and the Children of the Forest will be like, okay, Night King, that's enough of that. Stop. And who knows? I don't know. So backtracking a little bit to where, well, that's near the end. So then when that scene with the Night's Watch and the wildlings ends, they kill the kid, of course. Beric Dondarrion, Fireblade guy, he stabs the kid, of course, because you can only kill the zombies with dragon glass or fire. So he stabs the kid, he lights on fire, makes this cool little spiral fire thing, and then it switches back to Winterfell, and you see the hooded man riding into Winterfell, and of course it's Jaime Lannister. He gets off his horse and he's kind of looking around, and boom, there's Bran, of course, cheat code Bran, sitting out there looking at Jaime, and Jaime sees him and he's like, what the fuck? Because this whole time, Jamie didn't know that Bran survived, Cersei didn't know that Bran survived, and I don't think Tyrion knew. No, Tyrion knew had Bran survived, I think, earlier. I think Tyrion knew. But Jamie and Cersei definitely did not know that Bran survived. So to see Jamie's face when he's like looking at Bran and Bran just staring back at him, no emotion whatsoever. There's no smirk of like, you didn't beat me. There's no like look of vengeance. It's just a blank face, just staring at him. It's one of those uncomfortable stares that people will give you. You know, they just stare at you and you're just like, can I help you? And no answer. They just keep staring straight at you. Like, are they asleep with their eyes open? You know, are they like drugged up, or they're just kind of like just staring? So he gives them one of those stares, and that's how the episode ends. And I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. It's annoying because I gotta wait until next week to see where it goes from there. But it was a pretty cool episode and it was a pretty cool way to end the episode, because it's like, what's Jamie's response gonna be to that? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, all right, I remember you. I pushed you out of a window and you should have died, but there you are sitting in a wheelchair staring at me from across the way. So how you been? I was like, so what you been up to? How's school? You know? So yeah, really good episode. The reunion episode, definitely. A lot of reunions, definitely, but well worth it. I gotta watch it again just to pick up on some of the lines, because the only one that stood out to me was between, and it's one of the first lines, of course, it's one that stuck out, was between Tyrion and the eunuch. And he's like, well, you know, Tyrion makes a joke about the eunuch not having any balls, and then Viserys says, why are you always so comfortable making jokes about me, but then you're not so comfortable about dwarf jokes? And then of course Tyrion says, because I have balls. Which was like, which is like, that's such a thing. That's one of the things that I miss about the show, is just the great lines like that. It's not just the intense political action and intrigue. It's actually a lot of the lines of like that are just so well crafted and so well delivered. It just makes listening to them talk a real joy. So that's it for season 8, episode 1. Only 5 to go. So that sucks. So, and Yara got rescued by Theon and some boys. The Golden Army showed up. What else happened? Euron did take Cersei to bed, and she seems to think he's the most arrogant person that she's ever met. And when he says, you know, I'm gonna put a prince in that belly, she kind of smiles wryly and is like, yeah, I've already got one in there, you know, whatever, dude. You know, but cool. I think Theon's gonna go up back to Winterfell to join Jon and the others, and then Yara's gonna go back to the Iron Islands in order to defend it in case, you know, things don't go so well up north. And I don't know how this is gonna go, because it seems like Sansa really does not like or trust, maybe it's a little bit of both, does not like or trust Daenerys one bit. So I don't know. And now Sam has a reason not to like Daenerys, so that's more tension there. And I don't know how this thing with Euron's gonna work out between him and Cersei. The Golden Company does not have, they have 20,000 men, but only 2,000 horses and no elephants. And Cersei was really counting on having elephants. So that's something else. And then the dragons are not eating enough. I don't know if there's not enough food up there in the north, because Sansa did say that she did not account to have enough food for Dothraki and, you know, all these extra people and Lannister armies and dragons. It's like, what are they gonna eat? You know, and the old saying is an army moves on its belly. So if an army's got no food, then it's gonna be a difficult fight for them to have against the Night King and everyone else there. But yeah, great episode. Sucks I gotta wait 7 days for another one, but I'll see you then. All right, that's it for now. Let me know what you thought of season 8, episode 1, Game of Thrones. I don't know what the season title is. I watched it live, so I have no idea what it's called. And I'm not gonna look it up. I don't care that much to look it up. True fan right here. Won't even look up an episode title. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of it. And we'll see you here again next week. It's for episode 2. See how this thing goes down, only 5 to go. All right, that's it. Peace.